Congratulations! After months of hard work, patience, and persistence, you've just been offered a job. Now take a deep breath and don't accept. Not yet. To confidently accept a job offer, you must be profoundly aware of the following. First, career trajectory. Does the job set you up for the career path that you want for yourself? Second, culture fit. Does the company fit your values and do you like it there? Third, benefits. Will you be taken care of when you're in need? And finally, budget. Does the job offer you the money that you need for your budget? Does it pay you fairly or more than fairly? And if not, can you negotiate it? Once armed with this information, you should be able to accept or reject any offer with confidence. This takes some serious reflection. Ask for a minimum of 72 hours, but preferably a week, so that you can take a clear-eyed look at the offer, your prospective employer, your potential boss, and yourself. This will let you assess whether the job is a good fit for you now and in the long term. Career joy is a topic that defines my professional passion. My goal in my position as a career development manager at the DeCosimo Success Center at UTC's College of Business is not that our students use the degrees that they earn or hold strong business titles. My goal for my students is that they launch a career that they love and that nurtures them as well. Frankly, promotion and career progress happens when you enjoy your work. It's easy to be a lifelong learner and motivate others and perform to your highest abilities when you wake up thankful that you get to go to work that day. Please don't read this to mean that every single aspect of your job should be awesome. I think I have the best job in the city of Chattanooga, but it doesn't mean that I enjoy every moment of it. For instance, I don't like reconciling invoices or attending meetings that could be emails or listening to entitled students who don't have jobs lined up but who haven't lifted a finger either. This is part of my role, a role that I love, so I accept it. I turn on some music when I tend to my accounting, and I listen attentively to the speaker at a meeting and try to find crumbs of value in my time there. And I have also learned to welcome that student who is finally sitting in my office and realizing that life is what you make of it. So I find this within myself because I have career joy. And I want this for you. Not a job where you're disposable, a faceless number without a voice or a purpose. Career joy gives you meaning, nurtures you, and brings passion to the profession. So this is the goal. Here are some questions to ask yourself when you're considering a job offer. Will you be provided the resources to get the job done? Will the role allow your skills to be used, valued, and stretched? Will your intelligence be stimulated? Will this organization accept and celebrate you? If not, are you willing to attempt to change their perceptions or make adjustments to their current culture? Will this job inspire you to perform your best? Will it set you up to be successful in reaching the vision you see for yourself, say 5 or 10 years down the road, either professionally or personally? Will this further your career? Does the boss feel right to you? Is the company's prospect strong? Is the commute or schedule going to truly, sincerely work out, or are you trying to fool yourself? Hopefully all of these are marked yes, but there is a good chance you will have 1, maybe 2 check marks that you hesitate on, maybe even 1 or 2 that you, in all honesty, would have to mark as a no. If that's the case, then you'll have to seriously consider if you're going to be able to live happily with that omission. And if you simply need more information, take the opportunity to seek out more information from the company while you're in the waiting period for your offer. They should absolutely be open to answering questions that you might have. Let's get back to our original list. Okay, so that addresses the first 2 topics of consideration, your career trajectory and the culture fit. Now to a topic that is vastly overlooked by younger professionals, benefits. I want to very briefly review common benefits provided by HR departments and discuss how these benefits impact the total compensation of an offer, something for you to consider as you evaluate the offers that you're given. So what is total compensation? It is the combined monetary and non-monetary benefits provided an employee or potential employee for their services. Benefits often include healthcare, short-term disability, long-term disability, a pension or 401k, PTO, accidental death and disability, life insurance, and tuition reimbursement. Let's look over the common benefits information so you can understand what is and isn't offered at the company you're considering joining. So medical, dental, and vision insurance, healthcare coverage is the most common benefit offered. The quality of access varies by plan as well as the co-payment costs employees will incur when services are sought and the deductibles to be met. Employers pay a percentage of the insurance costs for healthcare plans such as medical, dental, and vision insurance, but in most cases, employees must also contribute to cover costs on a monthly basis. Life insurance. In the event of an employee's death, the policy would pay out benefits to the stated beneficiary, such as a spouse or a child. In this realm, you might also be offered AD&D, or accidental death and disability insurance. Accident policies are insurance contracts that pay a stated benefit in the event of death and/or dismemberment. Short-term and long-term disability insurance. These types of disability policies have different purposes. Short-term disability insurance is designed to pay out benefits sooner and for a shorter period of time than long-term disability income insurance. Short-term disability insurance pays a percentage of a salary if one becomes temporarily disabled, meaning that he or she cannot work for a short period of time due to a sickness or injury. A long-term disability policy will pay out a percentage of your monthly earnings if you become disabled. These plans have longer elimination periods or waiting periods, but pay benefits are for a longer period of time than short-term disability policies. Long-term disability plans usually provide benefits for at least a few years, sometimes to the age of 65 and sometimes for a lifetime. PTO, or paid time off, can also be listed as sick days or vacation days. PTO provides a bank of hours in which the employer pulls sick days, vacation days, and personal days that allows employees to use as the need or desire arises. PTO benefits are important for one's health, family care, stress relief, and a sense of renewal. When one takes a PTO day, she or he gets paid for the time while not on the job. 401k. Another commonly offered benefit, a 401k is a workplace savings plan that lets employees invest a portion of their paycheck before taxes are taken out. The savings can grow tax-free until retirement, at which point withdrawals can be taxed as income. A large majority of employers will match an employee's contributions, thereby boosting the employee's savings rates. It is advised that employees at the very least contribute what the employer is willing to match. You might also be provided a pension. It's a little less common than a 401k. A pension is a fund into which payments are made during a person's employment years. Less common than 401ks, a pension is a fund into which payments are made during a person's employment years, usually contributed by employers, not employees, and from which payments are drawn to support the person's retirement from work. A pension can be a defined benefit plan where a fixed sum is paid regularly to a person, or a defined contribution plan where a fixed sum is invested and then becomes available at retirement age. Tuition reimbursement. Employers can choose to offer tuition reimbursement as well. Typically, there is a cap for reimbursement. The training or degree must be approved as pertinent to the employee's job duties on most occasions, and a certain GPA or performance level must be maintained for the payout. Sometimes the bottom line can be a little hazy. So I've gone into detail here to remind you that benefits are important when considering what is in fact the very best offer. Let's look at this example here. A job where you're an independent contractor with no benefits, earning $55,000 a year, can actually be less lucrative than a job where you're an employee with strong benefits, being paid $40,000. Then there are some benefits that can be priceless. For instance, the ability to work from home or hold a flexible schedule might be the most important part of the job offer for you. If so, honor that aspiration for yourself. Explore your benefits before you take an offer. Back to our list. We've covered career trajectory, culture fit, and benefits. Now to a component I know will speak to a lot of you out there. Show me the money. I know many job hunters are money motivated. So let's get a little more detailed around budgetary matters. One of the most critical components in the negotiation process is to plan carefully for this discussion, and very often at the center is the price tag. You want to take the offer. It's the right career trajectory, it's the right culture fit, they're offering you great benefits, but you think that there's not enough money on the table. There are only two viable reasons why you might think the money is not enough. Either your expenses exceed the income offered, or your market value is higher than the income being offered. So first, determine the price tag that you want. This takes some self-reflection and number crunching. If you've not done so before the job hunt is actually the right time to build a budget. Without knowing your expenses, you will not know how much you need to bring home to cover the lifestyle that you have for yourself. I don't think anyone is unfamiliar with the concepts of income and expense. Even my kindergartner knows that her $3 allowance is not going to buy her a $10 toy unless she waits a while, keeps feeding the dog, and holds on to her coin. But it is mind-boggling how many people tap the well, no matter how large the income. 50 Cent, Billy Joel, Larry King, and Mike Tyson all come to mind. So money does not make you rich. Financial management does. When all is said and done, that's all you need to know in order to make good financial decisions. But perhaps the offer won't make ends meet, even after taking a good look at wants versus needs. In any case, the first step is to know your bottom number, the absolute minimum amount of money you can make while fulfilling your needs. Then determine the price tag that you deserve. What would be fair and realistic for the role you are filling? This takes some researching and networking. Don't be duped or come off as naive. Do your homework on salaries. If you are a recent graduate, read salary surveys for the previous hiring class in your region of the country. Then get more granular and look specifically at the job title you are exploring, as well as your education level, experience level, and location. There are some great websites to do your research, and having this knowledge will give you the confidence to enter the negotiation process with your eyes wide open. Finally, the topic of negotiating an offer. First things first, don't even talk about money until you have an offer. Before that point, it's irrelevant. Don't discuss your current salary or lack thereof in the process of communicating with the company. This is also irrelevant information, and it can harm your negotiation stance after the offer is provided. Let them be the first one to bring up a number. If you're filling out an application where listing previous salary is a requirement, list $1. NerdWallet and Look Sharp surveyed almost 800 new college graduates who entered the job market between 2012 and 2015. The survey also involved 700 employers. Only 38% of survey respondents negotiated with their employers upon receiving a job offer. 75% of the employers told the surveyors that they typically had room to increase their first salary offers anywhere from 5 to 10% during the negotiation period. So why do recent graduates choose not to negotiate? First, most graduates are happy to have an offer, any offer. Any kind of money can seem like a lot after being a student for 4 years. Most graduates are also afraid that the company will retract its offer. Students don't want to end up overeducated and unemployed. And lastly, most grads doubt their skills and knowledge. They simply don't have the confidence. But check this out. 84% of employers said an entry-level candidate would not be putting his or her job offer at risk by attempting to negotiate salary. In fact, 90% of hiring managers said they have never retracted an offer because an entry-level candidate tried to negotiate. Of the students and graduates who asked for higher salary, 80% were at least partially successful. Finally, there's a significant gender disparity when it comes to negotiation. 29% more male graduates are negotiating job offers than females. Plus, women, Black Americans, and Hispanic Americans make on average 31% less than white and Asian men. But you're nervous still. You don't want to send the wrong message. You don't want to seem arrogant. I get it. And you should know that negotiation takes finesse and proper planning to do it correctly. We're going to work on that. So here are the steps to negotiation. Preparation and planning. You know your budget, so you know what you need. And you did your research on salaries, so you know what you should be worth with your education, skills, and location. Commit to your numbers. What would be your dream salary for this position? What would be the absolute lowest salary you could accept? You may also have, for instance, special skills that would benefit the company that they are not taking into consideration yet. Are you a bilingual Spanish speaker? Do you have some skills in graphic design that can be put to use? Or a certain credential or training that they don't require but would add value? So secondly, you'll want to communicate. Think about why you deserve more. Just wanting more is certainly not enough. If you can clarify your value, you will make an impact in your conversation. Then you'll go into bargaining and problem solving. Sometimes the number is firm and they simply cannot budge. If you really like the opportunity and it meets your baseline for acceptable pay, consider some alternative routes. For instance, are there any additional benefits? Are there training or conference budgets available? Maybe after a 4-month review, can you talk about a specific pay increase if certain measurements are reached? But back to that finesse I mentioned. It's time to get your game face on and begin negotiation. You will need to ready yourself beforehand and even practice your pitch a few times to exhibit utter professionalism throughout the process. What are these characteristics that will aid in negotiations? First things first, be confident. You've done your research, you know your market value, and you are ready to present your skills in a way that makes your value clear. When you are confident about the justification for a negotiation, it's a matter of calibrating the scales and adjusting the wage fairly. Know your top and bottom number and be ready to walk away if you cannot make it work. Secondly, start communicating. Being articulate is critical in any negotiation. Start with a very clear statement addressed to the right person to start the conversation. Ms. Jackson, I am very excited to start my career at Acme Co. This position is a great fit for my skill set and my career trajectory, and I'm grateful for the offer. I would like to discuss the starting salary and work with you to negotiate the offer so it is externally competitive and internally aligned. With whom should I speak about this? Then focus on articulating your value with the right person. Take notes on your research and sources of information. You may not need it in the conversation, but it is important to be able to back up your claim without seeming arrogant, of course. A note here. If the hiring manager asks you what you are or were making at your current or previous job, this could be a trap. And this is, again, very irrelevant. You do not have to answer that particular question. However, you can always respond with, I'm focusing on jobs in the, let's say, $40,000 to $50,000 range. If that response works with them, you can continue talking and negotiating. If they press, I would suggest you come right out and say something like, the roles I have filled previously do not build off the specialized skill set built through my academic programs or experience. In the past, I was making a competitive wage for my skills and education applied to the task at that time. Right now, I want to focus on a competitive wage for this particular position. Third, and this is so important, be positive and pleasant. Remember, at the end of the day, you want to join the team, not alienate them. So focus on being a player, staying positive throughout. This includes being mature and stable. Throwing a tantrum, being pouty, and acting entitled is absolutely not the picture you want to draw for them. It's a bad place to start your career from. In this discussion, it's important to display interpersonal intelligence and pay particular attention to the rhythm of conversation. Cadence is important in negotiation. When you do your initial research, take notes on your skill set, education, and unique experiences that would positively impact the team. Then, during this conversation, bring up 1 or 2 points at a time, allowing them to reflect on how you and your unique self can add value to the team, and then make room to discuss each point. When negotiation fails most often is when someone is simply waiting to reply, just blurting out everything that makes him feel justified in negotiating the offer. It's like drinking from a fire hose. It feels like an assault, it's rushed, it feels defensive, and it's simply way too much to digest. On top of that, it's a common approach of nervous people who just want to get to the end of a conversation. Just finishing the conversation is not the goal. Your goal is an altered offer that meets your needs. So take your time, don't be pushy, don't rush. And don't be afraid to hear the word no, because no can very easily turn into a maybe in negotiation. Fifth, if the dreaded no does start rearing its ugly head, seek to understand. Thinking about the big picture is a managerial perspective, so take that stance in the negotiation to recognize the employer's standpoint. It may make their side much more reasonable. Finally, be flexible and creative. If they have to say no to a paid increase for a valid reason, think of options you could work with. As I mentioned, you might consider additional PTO, some training, tuition reimbursement, bonuses, a conference budget, a technology stipend, a review after a few months. when you look at this list of characteristics you would use during the negotiation process, even if the offer doesn't change and you take the original offer, you have demonstrated extremely valuable professional skills in the negotiation process. If done right, you set yourself up for being considered for a pay hike as soon as the opportunity arises. In fact, 76% of employers agreed that it shows confidence when candidates try to negotiate. Are you happy with the result? Great. Thank them and let them know you're excited to receive the new offer letter and accept the position thereafter. Remember, if it doesn't get written down, the negotiation never happened. If you hope or plan to negotiate an offer, role play with a professional friend or mentor or counselor or professor, somebody. It's the only way to get over any nervousness that you might have, and chances are you have some nervousness. If you are a UTC College of Business student, we'd love to assist you as you consider your career joy and prepare for evaluating or negotiating your job offers. Please be in touch with us. Thank you for watching.